Hello! I thought I would show you what I'm making today. Today's Crockpot day, and I thought I'd make a few recipes in my Crockpot so I'd have some ready for another time. The first recipe is going to be for dinner tonight, and it is called turkey and macaroni. I got it out of this cookbook. It is the Rival Crockpot cookbook. It's a little hard copy, sort of like a baby book, but it's a cookbook. And so I am going to make this for dinner tonight, and I'll show you what my ingredients are. First, we have a little vegetable oil. It's 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil, 1.5 pounds ground turkey, but I only have a pound, so I'm just going to put a pound in it. I think it'll be fine. Let's see, 2 cans of condensed tomato soup, so I've got those. And then it takes 2 cups of macaroni. Let me grab that. I did not have just plain macaroni because right now we're in a pandemic and it's not easy to find that kind of stuff. So I have 2 boxes of this macaroni and cheese. I'm just going to take the macaroni out and leave the cheese alone. Use that. Let's see, it takes 1 can of corn, but I didn't have a can of corn, so I'm going to use this frozen corn. And then it is a 1/2 cup of diced onion and a can of mushrooms. And then, let's see, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and I'm going to use this no sugar added ketchup. And 1 tablespoon of mustard. Can use that. And then salt and pepper to taste. So I'll just stick some in there. And this is what I'm going to put together. It says to go ahead and heat oil in a medium skillet and cook your turkey. So that's what I'm going to do first. And then add everything to the slow cooker and turn it on. It says it takes 7 to 9 hours on low or 3 to 4 hours on high. And it serves 4 to 6 servings. I put it in as 6 servings and it's 11 points a piece. And I'm using the 85% ground turkey because they didn't have anything else because of this coronavirus. So you got to use what you can find. Okay, I went ahead and put everything in the crock pot except for the turkey because I'm still cooking the turkey. Well, I'm getting ready to cook the turkey. And so I figured it'd be easy enough to go ahead and put this all in here. And, oh, I've still got to put the onions in here too. I haven't done that. And then once I get the onions and the turkey in here, I will stir the rest of it together. But this is what it looks like so far. Okay, here's the turkey, and it is being cooked at the moment. I used that teaspoon of vegetable oil in order to cook it in, and as soon as this is done, I'm going to go ahead and put it into the crock pot with the rest and turn that on, and that is going to be ready to eat later on this afternoon. And talk about easy. I did go ahead and put the onion in here and stirred this all up. Now this macaroni is a little tiny macaroni from that macaroni and cheese box, so hopefully there's enough liquid in here for it to do its thing. If not, then I might have to put a little more in later, but I think it'll probably be okay. Okay, I've put everything in there. I've mixed it up real good, and I'm going to put my lid on and turn it on. I think I'm going to put it on low for a little while and then turn it up to high later because I don't have enough time to do it on low for all day, but I like to cook on low as much as possible. So probably the last hour I'll put on high. So there's my first recipe in the crock pot. My second recipe is going to be peach cobbler, and I've got to figure out how many points. And I'm taking it out of the same cookbook that I did my turkey and macaroni. So the peach cobbler calls for 2 16-ounce packages of frozen peaches, 3/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon sugar divided. Now I'm trying to do this Weight Watchers, so I'm going to try this. I'm not sure how to say it. Erythritol. I don't know. Whatever that stuff's called, I'm going to use that, but I'm going to use a little bit more because this says you need a little bit more in order to make it as sweet as sugar. Okay, and then I need 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Got some right here, I'm about out, so I got another container here. And I need half a teaspoon ground nutmeg, and I put it in here. And then I also need 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, which I've got here. And also 6 tablespoons of butter cut into pieces. But I'm going to use the I Can't Believe It's Not Butter Spread Light just to make it more WW friendly. So the way I'm making it, it comes out to have 6 servings at 3 points per serving. And I'll show you as I'm doing it. Okay, I have put the peaches, the sugar substitute, I'll call it, the 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. I put 1 cup of sugar substitute, but it calls for 3/4 cup of sugar, and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. I put it all in here. Now I'm going to mix it all up. So that's what it says to do. Actually, it says to do this in a different pot bowl and then put it in here, but I see no reason to mess up another bowl. And so I'm going to mix it all up here. It says to defrost your peaches and to drain them. So I did that. And see, it's getting together just fine. But I'm going to put down this spoon so I can do it even better with both hands. Okay, and in this bowl, I put 3/4 cup of flour and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Well, not sugar, sugar substitute. And actually, I did a little bit more than a tablespoon. And let's see, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And now I'm supposed to cut in the butter with the pastry cutter. So I'm going to go ahead and get the butter put in there and cut it in the pastry, cut it with the pastry cutter. And then I'm going to sprinkle it over the top of the peach mixture and cook it for 2 hours on high. Okay, it's all mixed up, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on top of the peaches. The topping has been put on top of the peaches, and now I'm going to put the lid on, turn it on, let's see, turn it on high. Let's see, oh, it helps to plug it in. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. Okay, turn it on. Turn it on high. I'm going to leave it at 4 hours, but it only needs 2 hours, so I'll turn on the timer. And it's ready to cook. That was pretty easy too. And my third recipe, Crockpot recipe for today, is Crockpot maple and cinnamon steel cut oats. And this one's quick and easy. All I have to do is spray down the crock pot, put everything in it, and turn it on for 8 hours on low or 4 hours on high. And I will link the recipe in the description. But it takes 1.5 cups of steel cut oats, and then I'm using the sugar-free syrup so that I can make it less points. But this, you use 1/3 cup of this. You use 1/8 of a teaspoon of sea salt. You use 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. You use a teaspoon of cinnamon and 6 cups of original unsweetened almond milk. So I'm going to put it all together and I'll show you what I've got. I have put everything into this pot except for the almond milk, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is 4 cups of it. And then I've got to get me some more almond milk over here. Let's see if I can do this. And then there's the other 2 cups. So after I put this in here, I'm going to go ahead and stir it up good and then turn it on. Does anybody else have a hard time getting cinnamon to stir into your food, into your liquid? Oh well, I do, but it'll be okay because I'm going to be stirring throughout the cooking process. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. And this is my old crock pot, so I'm going to turn it on to high, and it's going to cook for about 4 hours, and hopefully it'll be good and done then. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. So I took a little time this Saturday afternoon to put together these 3 crock pot meals. The first one was the macaroni and turkey crock pot meal. That one's been cooking for a little while. It's coming along. The second one, and that's 11 points per serving, so that's kind of high. The second one is the peach cobbler, and it's only been going for a little while, so it's coming along. And then I just finished putting in the Crockpot steel cut maple cinnamon oats, and it just got turned on. So that's that. Inside, during this coronavirus quarantine, you might want to try some new recipes. And so I'll show you what they all look like later. Okay, the turkey and macaroni is ready. It looks like it burned around the edges. And I think this crock pot runs a little hot because it does that sometimes. This is supposed to be 6 servings, so I'm going to go ahead and dish it out. We're having this for dinner tonight. It turned out looking really good, and I'll let you know how it tastes in just a little bit. I'm going to have this for dinner, 1 serving, which is 11 points, and some broccoli. So I'll show you my dinner in just a bit. But it looks and smells really good, but I think it only takes about 4 hours on low. So be careful if you're trying this recipe. Okay, here's the peach cobbler. I just turned it off, and it took a little bit longer to cook because of the topping. I wanted to make sure it wasn't still mushy. And I also put a paper towel on the top of it, and then put the near the end, and then put the top on top of this so that it would collect the moisture and wouldn't keep the top of the casserole or the cobbler all moist. So we'll see how that turns out. It smells delicious, and it looks really good too. So that's going to be dessert. I'll let you know how that came out. And let's see, over here we have the oatmeal, and it's coming along. Whoops, it just got all steamed up there. It's coming along. It's really good. It says that you need to stir it every once in a while if you can, if you're not doing it while you're sleeping. And then over here that's a little more than a serving. Well, there's a serving, there's a serving, and my husband had 2 servings. I had 1, so it made 6 servings. And this is what happened because my crock pot is a little hot. So I did have some left over. So my servings might be a little small, but it was actually a really good size serving. And it was very good. We enjoyed it. And now I'm looking forward to trying both the peach cobbler and the oatmeal. So I'll be doing that tonight and tomorrow, and I'll let you know how they taste. Doesn't that oatmeal look good? Yum. Now I gotta put it in some containers so that I can eat it whenever I feel like it. That will make 8 servings. It didn't take me that long to put these 3 together. And I'm gonna have good breakfast that I can pull out whenever I feel like, because you know I don't like to eat the same thing every day, but I'll put some in the freezer, put some in the refrigerator, and that way I can eat it whenever I feel like it. It's been a productive afternoon. I'm gonna have some food ready for whenever I want, and it was quick and easy. All right, I will see you later.